Okay, so we have been discussing about the electric current and current density. Electric current and current density. So in the last class we have seen about current and we have seen about free electrons, right? And also when there will not be electric field inside the conductor, and when will electric field is not equal to 0.
Hello.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now in this class let us see, we have also seen that 1 minute, give me 1 minute. Okay. Right. So this is what we discussed in the last class. We have seen about current density. We defined current. We understood that current density is vector, but current is not vector. You see, current is, even though it is having magnitude and direction, it is not vector because it is not following parallelogram law of vector addition. That is why current is not a vector, but current density is vector. Current density we defined it as current per unit area. That means the amount of current passing through, amount of current
unit.
Yeah, amount of current passing through unit area. So, and we have also seen velocity. Okay. So assume these are the chairs. These are the chairs in a through which he has to come out. Then what is the probability of this person to collide with these chairs? There is more probability. Maximum. He will go like this. He will be colliding with this chair, and then he will hit this chair, and then he will hit this chair, like that. The probability is more, and hardly he can reach the other side without having much collisions. Now let us take another example. In this example, assume again there are chairs. Same chairs are there, and the person is blindfolded. He is the person. He is blindfolded, but this time at the entrance or at the outdoor, if we keep a loudspeaker and we are continuously playing some music, okay,
Yes.
then what is the probability of collision? Is it more or less?
Less, sir.
Yeah, it is
less.
it is definitely less, because he is able to hear the sound, so that he can make out even after colliding here. By hearing this sound, he will decide that this is the direction he has to move. But he will collide because he can't see. He will collide with it, but he will not go in this way because the sound is coming from this side, so that after colliding with it, he may come this way and like this. Now what are you observing in the two cases? In this case, because of the source, sound source, the number of collisions are less,
Reduced.
So we can say, if the time T1 is the time taken by this person to reach from here to the door, and T2 is the time taken by this person from for reaching from here to door, T2 will definitely be less than T1. Will you accept it?
Yes, sir.
So exactly the same thing is happening in case of drift velocity and thermal velocity. So this is the analogy for velocity of electron
due to thermal flux.
due to temperature alone. And this is the case.
Sir, this one we need to take, sir.
Yeah, you can take roughly. And this is the case where there is a drift velocity. In both cases, collision will be there, but here velocity is somewhat average velocity is more. Here average velocity is 0. And wait a minute, here we are thinking about the conductors. What are these circles indicating? In the last class I explained.
Atoms.
These circles are atoms, and this dot is an electron. The electron is
Free
colliding
electron.
with the atoms. So in this analogy which we have discussed now, what does the chair indicating?
Atom.
The chair is indicating atom, and this person who is blindfolded is representing the electrons, and as a together it is a conductor. So exactly in the same manner, when we connect a battery and this sound source is representing battery, when we connect a battery, these electrons will be drifted towards the source in such a way that the collisions will be less compared to velocity due to the temperature. Am I clear? Any doubt here?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
So that is the reason why drift velocity, average drift velocity is not equal to 0. Why it is not equal to 0? We can see there is a uniformity. That means electrons are moving in a particular direction. There is a bias. In other words, we can say there is a tendency for this electron to always move in that particular direction. But here there is no bias. Based on the collision, the electrons are deciding their direction of velocity. So here this velocity due to the temperature is 0. Average velocity is 0, but here average velocity is not 0. Okay? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now let us continue. Now let us look at drift velocity in detail. 1 minute. So let us discuss about the drift velocity in detail now. So let me write here. We are discussing about the drift velocity. Now you understand what is drift velocity. Let us take a piece of conductor which is in the shape of cuboid. Let us take a piece of conductor. By the way, are you able to see the screen? Is it more bright, or shall I reduce the brightness?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
1 minute. Is it good now?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. So let us take a piece of conductor. This is the piece of conductor. And assume length of the conductor is L. Length of the conductor is L, and this area of cross section, this area is A. L is length, A is area. This is length. And assume that this wire is connected to a battery. It is connected to a battery. When we connect it to battery with the polarity is like this. This is positive, negative. Here we are applying voltage. This is our voltage. So because of that, we know that this side there will be positive charge, and on the other side, what charge is here? Negative.
Negative charge.
Here
Negative charge.
negative charge is there. So that there will be electric field in which direction? In this direction.
Positive to negative.
Electric field is in this direction, and actually the electrons are moving in this direction. Electrons are moving in this direction.
Negative to positive.
Yeah, but we are assuming this is the conventional direction of current, so that current density is a vector which is in this direction. Please notice one thing: always this current density and electric field will be in the
Will
same
be in
direction,
same direction.
because as per the convention we are considering flow of positive charge as the current. So current density and electric field are in the same direction. But
Sir.
yes,
పేపర్ కొంచెం కింద పెట్టండి సార్.
Pike, sir, pike.
అదే పైకి.
okay, thank you.
Ah,
So now you see these are the electrons. These are electrons. Now try to understand. All electrons move in a volume through this. What is the volume of this conductor? Can you tell me volume of this conductor? What is the volume?
Volume of cuboid.
Volume of this piece.
L into B into H.
But we don't know the B. We know the area. L into B into H. B into H is nothing but area. So
Yes sir.
can we write it like this? LA.
Yes sir.
That is the volume. So this, through this volume all electrons are flowing. Let me write that point here. Let me write that point here. All electrons are moving through volume, that is L into A, and they are passing through area A. So whatever the electrons which are passing through the volume should definitely pass through the area A. Now let us consider density of the electron. How many electrons are there in this space? We have seen that in any conductor free electrons are there. In any conductor free electrons are there. So here also in this conductor free electrons are there. Now what is the density? Let us take density of electron or electron density. Electron density. Let us assume, let us represent electron density with a small letter n. So, do you know the meaning of density?
Mass by
That is mass density. Mass per volume is mass density. Here,
yes sir.
this is not mass density, it is electron density. As you said, very good. So if you take mass density is equal to mass per volume. Am I right? In the same manner,
Yes,
electron density. How can we write electron density?
Electron per volume.
Yeah. So number of electrons per unit volume. So by definition, electron density is number of electrons per unit volume. So we know what is unit volume. Volume is L into A. So from this we can write total number of electrons total number of electrons is equal to density multiplied by volume. So this can also be written as N into L into A. This is the total. This is the expression for total number of electrons. Total how many electrons are there in this piece of conductor? These many electrons are there. Am I clear? Do you have any doubt? Up to
Yes, sir.
Right. So total these many electrons are there. Now what is the charge of each electron? Can you tell me? Charge of each electron. Already in our previous chapters we have seen that. Charge of
6 point.
yeah. We are representing that with E. Am I
E.
right?
Small e, yes, sir.
Small e. So each electron consists this much of charge. Like that, how many electrons are there? These many electrons are there. Now, if you want to find
N.
out total charge in the conductor, total charge in the conductor, let us represent that is Q. That is equal to total these many electrons are there, and each electron is having this much of charge. So we can write it as E N L A. Understood?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
we know that this charge is a negative charge, because charge of electron is negative. So now we got a total charge. Right. Now let us take current density. Current density is equal to, we are representing it as a J. What is the formula for current density? Current divided by, yes,
Current divided by area, delta
current
S.
divided by area. Can we write current as Q by T? What is current?
Yes, sir.
Here we discussed.
Q by
Current is equal to Q by T. Here it is a steady flow because we have connected a battery. So current is equal to Q by T. So in place of current, we can write Q by T. So this is equal to Q by A into T. When T is the time for which the electrons are moving. Now we can also write it like this. In place of Q, we can substitute this. So we can also write it like this: minus E N. A and A get cancelled. L divided by T. Any doubt here?
No, sir. No, sir.
So what is L? Here what is L?
L is length.
Length of the wire. What is T? Time taken by the electrons to
taken.
move from
Time
this end
taken.
to another end. So we know that distance by time. What is distance by time?
Speed equal to.
Distance by time is velocity actually. So
Yes, sir.
this is nothing but electrons are taking in other words we can say this electron is taking t time to travel a distance L. So this
Yes.
electron is taking t time to travel this distance L. Now what is the velocity of this electron? L by t, distance by time. So that velocity we are calling as drift velocity. So we can write it like this: current density is equal to minus E into N into Vd, where Vd is drift velocity. So this is a very, very important formula. So this is the relation between current density and drift velocity. Okay.
Okay.
So relation between current density and drift velocity. You please try to understand the significance of negative sign here. What is the physical meaning of negative sign? Here Vd is the velocity of electron. Actually, velocity of the electron is from negative terminal to the positive terminal. Am I right? So, velocity of the
Yes, sir.
electron is from
Yes, sir.
negative to positive, whereas current density is exactly opposite to it. This is Vd. Vd is in this direction, but current density is in the opposite direction. So, current density is in this direction, Vd is in the opposite direction. So, we can also express it in vector form. Here velocity is vector and current density is vector. So always in any conductor, current density and drift velocity will be opposite to each other. That is what this minus sign is indicating. Do you have any doubt up to here?
No, sir. No, sir.
Right. So with this understanding, let us try to understand.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. One skip. Okay, sir. Hello.
Okay. Shall we continue?
Yes, sir. Change, sir.
Right. So far, let us see what we have discussed so far. We discussed about current density. We discussed about current density. Where have we started? Here. Yeah. This was our last topic. Current, electric current and current density. We discussed about current, and after that we discussed about current density, and our next topic was drift velocity. So far we derived a formula that gives the relation between drift velocity and current density. That formula is this. So drift velocity and current density are like this. If velocity is more, current is more. If velocity is more, current is more. If the electron density is more, for example, if we take copper and iron, compared to iron, copper has more density, so that copper is very good conductor. So for insulators, this density is less, so that they won't conduct much current. Okay, let us continue our discussion. Our next topic is Ohm's law. Put heading Ohm's law. Ohm's law. One minute. Just forget about it. Okay. So here we have seen that current density and Vd, drift velocity, are directly proportional to each other. Can we say that? Current density
Yes, sir.
and drift velocity are directly proportional to each other. Let me write that point here. Current density is directly proportional to drift velocity. This is the proportionality constant. E into n is the proportionality constant. And you know, if electric field is more, current density is more. Will you accept that? If the electric field is more, here
Electric.
if
Yes,
the
sir.
electric field is more, current density is more. Am I right?
Yes,
In
sir.
other words, if the electric field is strong, more current will be passing through it. If current is more, obviously current density is more. So we can also write it like this. So current density is directly proportional to electric field. So from this we can write current density is directly proportional to
Drift velocity into electric.
Sir, drift velocity increases, J will also increase. No, sir. Minus sign is there, no, sir? There.
this minus sign is indicating the direction. It is only indicating direction.
Direction.
Okay. So
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
in other words we can say J is directly proportional to Vd and E is directly proportional to Vd. Can we say that this is very simple logic? You see, if the
Yes, sir.
electric field is strong, these electrons will be pulled strongly, right?
Yes, sir.
If electric field is strong, these electrons will be pulled strongly so that velocity is more. If electric field is weak, drift velocity is low. So we can say electric field and drift velocity are directly proportional to each other. So based on that, we can say this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2. From these two, we can say drift velocity is directly proportional to the current density, drift velocity is directly proportional to the electric field. So that electric field and current density must be directly proportional to each other. So this equation, in this equation, we can replace the proportionality with a proportionality constant sigma, that is E. What is this sigma? Sigma, you know, this is current density, this is electric field. This sigma is conductance.
Okay.
This is the material property. It is varied, it is different for different materials. For conductors, conductance is more. This is resistance. So we can say conductance is inversely proportional to resistivity. It is conductance, or we can also write it like conductivity or conductance. So conductance is inversely proportional to resistance. If resistance is more, resistivity is more, conductance is less. So what is this, by the way? This is proportionality constant. Proportionality constant. That means sigma, conductivity, doesn't depend on either current density or electric field. It is just a constant, proportionality constant. It's a number actually. It varies from one material to another material. So based on this, we can write electric field is equal to, electric field is a vector, that is equal to 1 by sigma into current density, which can also be written as electric field is equal to rho into J, because 1 by conductivity is resistivity. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now in our previous, okay, before going to that, this is what the Ohm's law is actually. We call this as a Ohm's law. This is Ohm's law. But in your 10th grade, you studied this as a Ohm's law, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But both are saying the same. You will see within 1 minute we will be seeing that this is the Ohm's law in terms of current density and electric field. This is the Ohm's law in terms of current and voltage. Both are telling the same thing. So for the sake of understanding, let us consider what is current density. In place of current density, can we write current divided by area?
Area, yes, sir.
Current divided by area, rho as it is. In place of electric field, what can we write? Voltage divided by
Okay.
length.
Yes, sir.
Will you accept it? Voltage divided by L is electric field. Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
So from this, what can we write? Voltage is equal to rho L by A current.
Yes.
What is this rho L by A that we studied?
R.
Rho L by
R.
A is R only. So the same thing can be written like this. Voltage is equal to current into resistance. V is equal to IR. So this is the Ohm's law in terms of current density and electric field. We can also express Ohm's law like this. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Where rho is resistivity, sigma is conductance. This is conductance and rho is resistivity. So here I introduce a new term, conductivity. So let us take a type of material and its conductivity. Let us look at different materials and their conductivity. So first let us consider silver. Silver, we represent it with Ag. Silver has the conductivity 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. By the way, what are the units for conductivity? What are the units for conductivity?
Ohm per meter.
Ohm meter.
Oh, ohm meter.
Okay. Ohm,
Yes, sir.
ohm meter. How did we get it? Is it a actually it is not conductivity, resistivity. I'm sorry. So we are looking at resistivity. Conductivity is inverse of this. So from this we can say, here we can say rho is equal to R into A by L. R has units ohms. A is having units meter square and L is having units meter. Meter and meter square get cancelled. So the leftovers are ohm meter. So ohm meter is unit for resistivity. So if you want to calculate the conductivity is inverse of the resistivity. So for silver this is the resistivity.
So rho is resistivity, sir.
Yeah, this is resistivity. Similarly, if you take copper, for copper, what is resistivity? Copper resistivity is 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 8. Similarly, let us take aluminium. For aluminium, it is 2.75 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm it is. And if you take water, water has this resistivity 2.5 into 10 to the power of 5 ohm meters. Please notice this is not minus 5, plus 5. Similarly, let us take glass. For glass, it is in between 10 to the power of 10 to 10 to the power of 14 ohm meters. You please notice that these are the materials which are having very low resistivity. That means these are very good conductors. And these are good insulators. So under this category, plastic, rubber, wood, paper, they will also come under this category. So metals have good resistivity, good conductivity. In other words, we can say resistivity is very low. Resistivity is very low for conductors and resistivity is very high for the insulators. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, let us solve one problem and try to understand how this resistance is changing with respect to the geometry of a material. So let me solve one example here. So for example, there is a block. It is a cuboid whose dimensions are 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter into 20 centimeters. So the block is like this. This is 20 centimeters. This is the block, right? This block has length L is equal to 20 centimeters. Now if you would like to measure its resistance from these two ends, then what is its resistivity? What is its resistance? We know that resistance, and this block is a block of copper. Okay, so resistance is equal to rho L by A. What is the resistivity of copper? 1 point
Resistivity of copper. 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus
10 to
7.
the power of minus 8 into what is the length? 20 centimeters.
Length is 1, sir.
Length. This is length. This is breadth. This is height. You see here, this is length, breadth, and height. This is 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter, and this is 20 centimeters. So 20 centimeters means 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by area. Area means 1 into 1, right?
Yes.
So centimeter into centimeter, it is 10 to the power of minus 4 meters. Centimeter is 10 to the power of minus 2. So if you solve it, we will get it as 2.6 into 10 to the power of minus 5 ohms. So this is the resistance offered by a cube of copper whose dimensions are like this. Now if you want to measure resistance between these two ends, this end and the other end, that means rectangular sides, this rectangular side and other rectangular side, then resistance is different. So in such a case, resistance, let us represent it as R dash. This is the resistance between rectangular ends. So again, R dash is rho L by A. Here what is the length? In this case, what is the length? Can you tell me?
1, sir.
Here in this case, the length is 1. Good.
1.
Yes. So material resistivity is same, 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 8, and length is 1 centimeter, that is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 2, divided by this time area is 1 into 20, that is 20 into 10 to the power of minus 4. If you simplify it, you will get approximately 0.0